I got to readjust my camera because I got the new hero. John is here. John Harbaugh drops into the building. Well, he came into the building last night. Oh, of course, this is Tim, this New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC, brought to you by, of course, the mighty FanDuel, the number one sports book in America. Make sure you go out and join FanDuel.com. Go download the app. I love FanDuel. We all know this. But here we go. We're at the ticker tape parade for John Harbaugh. Oh, it's great to have, I don't know, a freaking adult in the room. Skyline said, yeah, y'all, I'm still nervous about Shane being around, but I put my faith in Harbaugh now. You want to laugh? You want to laugh, Skyline? Because I'm going to help you out right now, brother. I'm going to help you right now. I'm going to play a clip from Chicken Shit Joe after the press conference. You ready? Here we go. After he drinks a huge fucking cup of water.
And it sounds like it's going to be him from Chris Mara just saying his voice will carry the most weight.
Chris Mara has said that his voice will carry the most weight. That is John Harbaugh, coach fucking Harbaugh. And this is Joe Schoen answering that question. I love this clip. I'm going to loop this clip.
Was that humbling for you? What did that require for you to give up what you've had, which is the final say in the collaborative process?
Yeah, and I'm not worried about that.
I fucking love it. I love it. Skyline. I'm going to play a clip from the beginning. Hold on, Skyline. Hold on. Here we go.
Sounds like it's going to be him from Chris Mara just saying his voice will carry the most weight. Was that humbling for you? What did that require for you to give up what you've had, which is the final say in the collaborative process?
Yeah, and I'm not worried about that. Everywhere I've been in the league for 26 years. So everywhere I've been, the head coach and general manager work together. That's the only way it's going to work. And get on the same page, go through the process.
You know what the process is, Joe? Get the fudge out. Hey, Joe, knock, knock. Who's there? Get the fuck out.
Again, we've done it everywhere I've been, so I'm not.
No, you haven't done it everywhere you've been. He is such a lying sack of shit, Joe Schoen. Thank goodness for Coach Harbaugh.
Worried about it. Like you said, that's just something on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. We need to work together.
I love it. Something on a piece of paper, like a contract and $100 million, doesn't matter to Joe Schoen. We're in this together.
We're going to come to the final conclusion, and it's always going to be about what's best for the New York Giants. So I have no problem with that. And
I am so happy. I'm so happy this motherfucker is, you're out. I mean, I can't. I am just literally beside myself that Joe Schoen, they literally asked Joe Schoen, you don't have any power. So the big question is going to be, how can you deal with the fact that you have no power whatsoever? Oh, dear Lord. I just love it. Should we get to the press conference? Let's get to the press conference. Let's get to some of this press conference because I am now in love with Coach Harbaugh. I am now. I was ecstatic about this hiring. It's one of these things that you see this hiring and you're like, this is the move that the Giants made, and this is a move that they made and they had to make. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about this. And we're not even going to get into when Joe Schoen talked because Joe Schoen is so full of shit. We're not even going to let him introduce John Harbaugh. I'm going to introduce Coach Harbaugh.
And everyone, I'd like to introduce to you the next coach of the New York Football Giants. Thank you.
Not me.
Wow, thanks, Joe. Appreciate that very much. And what an honor. What a
I think he meant to say thank you, Tim. Just Coach Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh, I do not want to correct you.
exciting moment. Walk in here and they say New York's a different kind of place. And I would say it's probably true, man. This is pretty amazing right here. This is incredible. And to see those players back there, see those guys smiling and ready to go to work, that gets me fired up too. So to everybody, just thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Someone just said it best that they wished that this was in the stadium. Here we go. Omega Supreme says, I wish they had the press conference in the stadium and opened the doors to the fans. That could feel the love. It would have been crazy. Well, it's 16 degrees in New York right now. I love John Harbaugh. I love New York Giant football coach John Harbaugh, but not at 16 degrees. Sorry. I love you. I love you, John, but not at 16 degrees. Well, let's listen to I love this press conference. I love this. We had the bullshit meter for all these other press conferences with Joe Schoen and Brian Dable. My bullshit meter did not go off once because the motherfuckers got one of these. Not one time did it go off. Here we go.
It's a profound honor to be entrusted with the responsibility of coaching the New York Football Giants. And my dad taught me that they were the New York Football Giants. They were just the Giants.
New York.
They were the New York Football Giants, right, Dad? All the way back. One of the most iconic.
I will tell you this as a fan for as long as I've been. My father was a fan in the 40s and the 50s, and it's always been the New York fucking Football Giants. Always. We're back, baby.
Franchises in all of sports. I wanted this job. I think I told you that, Mr. Mayor. I wanted this job. And to be on the biggest stage in the biggest sport. I know the challenges. I understand the expectations. I know the fans are hungry for a winner. We're here with one mission.
One mission, baby.
To earn the right to be called the world champions in New York. And that's what we plan to do. If I can introduce my wife, Ingrid. I told you, now you're not coming up on the stage. No, you can just say hi. My wife, Ingrid. Yeah. Our daughter, Allison, she couldn't be here. She's at law school trying to survive right now, so she couldn't make it. She had class today. And my mom and dad, Jack and Jackie, are here. Thanks for being here, Mom and Dad.
Normally, this shit just like, I don't want to hear it, but I love his kids. I love my wife.
Mom and Dad taught us to attack this day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
I want to run through a fucking wall. As a former player, D3, D1, high school, Pop Warner. Sometimes you have coaches that you just want to run through a fucking wall for. And that right now, after this press conference, it's the Harbaugh. And we're going to get back to the Joe Schoen because I love that clip.
Right? We learned that. And that's what we're going to do every single day. Jim and Joni, hey, out there. Jim, we're not in the AFC, Jim. You can breathe easy. But thank you to the Mara and the Tisch families who I had a chance to meet today.
I'm going to jump around a little bit,
get to know everybody better.
Because I love what he talks about the team.
Played.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Here we go.
To Steve and Ozzy for the opportunity, for the guidance that they provided every single day, to all the players and coaches who have been unrelenting brothers all along the way through the years. We did great things. Thanks.
This is a professional football fucking coach. That's why we have the John Harbaugh parade. You can't see it, but we got the Harbaugh parade. This is a fucking coach. Not like this dipshits we've had before. Oh, we're going to win and we're going to be... No. Take your fat ass, take your Ozempic, get back to fucking Buffalo and stay there because we have a new coach and we actually have a coach. I don't care if people think I'm young.
Guys,
fuck you.
But now as we begin a new chapter in New York, our focus is simple. It starts with building a team that is physical and tough.
I love that. Physical and tough. Before it was tough, dependable, and we wear depends.
Capable of overwhelming their opponent from beginning to end, and especially at the end, that understands how to finish.
A team that knows how to finish. See, even even Carlos is like, oh yeah. Even Big Dog Status is like, let's just do it. Tim, I would stand buck naked in never 5-degree weather in MetLife to see John Harbaugh's press conference. Okay, I'm gonna get here. You go. 1 second. This was the Giants. It was Giants Redskins, and this was what we thought was Eli Manning last season. And literally, we stayed. You notice no one's on the field and no one's in the stand because it was -7 at kickoff. And we stayed through the whole fucking game on the sideline. But you know what? And you know what? You're right. I would do it. I would do it because they fuck you when you go through the drive-thru.
That is smart and disciplined. It plays the game the way it should be played. And that everybody watching it, including those playing it, will be proud of.
There you go.
We're going to work together. We got great and talented people to accomplish a shared mission. It'll be a relentless commitment to this organization, to the city and the fans, to do things the right way every single day. Nothing will be taken for granted. It will always be all about the team. The team. Thanks, Dad, for that.
I'm not sure, but I think I'm also in love with his dad. There has always been rumors and speculations that I was adopted. I think I found my father, or my other father. We'll call him, I don't know if that's John Sr., but he could be my dad. John Harbaugh, do you want to adopt me? I could be your brother. Oh, I got better hair than John Harbaugh, though.
It'll always be about that. Now it's time to go to work. So with that, what questions do you have?
I love this motherfucker. He just goes, okay, well, you know what? I told you how awesome everything's going to be. I told you how great I am. I told you how we're going to be tough. We're going to fight. We're going to close out games. I want questions. I got to play the Joe Schoen clip one more time because I love this clip with Joe Schoen when they're basically like, Joe, you're not going to have any power anymore.
Just saying his voice will carry.
And Chris Mara says that his voice is, John Harbaugh's voice is going to carry and resonate more than yours. And he's drinking. He's literally like, well, yeah, I know. I think he's going to cry. I think Joe Schoen's going to cry.
Saying it sounds like it's going to be him from Chris Mara just saying his voice will carry the most weight. Was that humbling for you? What did that require for you to give up what you've had?
I think I'm also now in love with Chris Mara. I love my wife. I love everyone. I'm Rod Tidwell in it all day today, baby.
Which is the final say in the collaborative process.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about that. Everywhere I've been in the league for 26 years. So everywhere I've been, the head coach and general manager work together. That's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah, but normally the general manager has the final say. Joe, cry, Joe, cry. If he cried, I would be in heaven. If he cried, I would buy another set of season tickets and just give them away to people just to watch him cry.
And get on the same page, go through the process. Again, we've done it everywhere I've been, so I'm not worried about it. Like you said, that's just something on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. We need to work together.
It's something on a piece. It's a contract, and we're giving this guy $120 million. We're giving this guy $20 million a year, and the owners all say that they're going to report directly to him, and I have no say. But it's just on a contract. Oh, I hate this motherfucker. But he's going to
come to the final conclusion, and it's always going to be about what's best for the New York Giants.
Oh my God, let's get back to John because I'm having way too much fun.
Who's in charge of the questions here?
Me.
Yeah.
Hold on, me.
Oops, we gotta go back. Hold on,
we gotta go back. I'm in charge.
Yes, Coach Harbaugh. Quick question for you. When did you first make Joe Schoen cry? When you first came in the building? Because you are fucking awesome.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Congratulations, Coach. Thanks. I'm Andrew Rosario, New York Beacon News.
How does Andrew Rosario of the Beacon News get the first question at the press conference? That's almost like giving me the first question at the press conference.
Yes, Coach Harbaugh. Tim, Online Big Blue, New York Giants Straight Talk. Powered by the Believe Network on FanDuel and the mighty FanDuel. Quick question for you. Could you adopt me?
Questions. After 18 years of being a head coach, did you consider taking time off before getting back into the fire?
Stupid question.
And as you look at
that's our expectation. That's what we will be expecting.
Here we go.
It was kind of the obvious one from the beginning. This was the one, like I said, I wanted, and I wanted it because of that very thing you just talked about. We have an opportunity to go win. And I like these players, man.
Hit the
I had
like
a
button,
chance
guys.
to watch tape. I like the way they play. I like their style. I like how physical and how tough they are. And I know they want to be successful and they want to go to work. So absolutely.
I see all these people with the smiley face. Are we just having a fucking great day? Knock, knock. Who's there? Not Joe Schoen. Not Joe Schoen. Who? Oh, I drank my tea too fast. I'm so excited. I drank my tea too fast.
That's what she said.
Absolutely, we can do that, and that's our plan to do that. The plan is to win every game. I mean, one game at a time. You go into every game planning to win that game.
17-0, motherfuckers. That's where we're going. And then we're going to win the 3 preseason games, so we're 20-0. Then we're going to win the 2 playoff games, so we're 22-0. Then we're going to win the last. We're with Super Bowl 23-0. New York Giants 23-0. Book it. Okay, let's go back. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, good.
Hey.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, John, Connor Hughes, SNY. How much of a role did Jackson Dart play in your desirability for this job, and what do you believe he's capable of long term?
Here we go.
Right. Well,
The
it's a great
Jackson Dart
question because,
question.
the quarterback's kind of important. That's
Quarterback is kind of
deal.
important. I'm not going to lie to you.
And I'm excited about Jackson Dart, and I've seen your backup quarterback too, Jameis, up close and personal 2 years ago. So I saw him complete a bunch of passes. Yeah, I know. There you go. I saw you. I had oh my. Remember that game, right? It's a great game for you.
I'm going to say that for John Harbaugh. Not for coach, New York Giants football coach, John Harbaugh.
And so it starts with the quarterback for sure. I mean, the quarterback has got to, you build your team around your quarterback. I mean, you build your team around your.
I would just like to say this right now. I think Jackson Dart is the greatest quarterback in that last draft, and maybe in the next 10 drafts. Coach Harbaugh likes him. I love him.
Players and what they do well. And I like the way he plays. I mean, I like his talent, skill set, all the things.
I love his talent.
He's accomplished, but more than that, I like who he is and what he's about. And to me, he's about football. I mean, this young guy loves football. He wants to talk football all the time. And
well, he's a football player, and football is his career.
And that's kind of what I like doing too. So I think we're gonna have a lot of great conversations. And I can't wait to get started with them.
John, Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. Through the process, you had a chance to spend a lot of time and talk to Joe Schoen a lot, the guy who just introduced you here. What was it about your interactions with him that led you to believe there's going to be great collaboration and cooperation here?
Well, I would just like to say, because I'm probably going to fire him in June. So, and see if Ozzie Newsome wants to come back to work. So yeah, I'm very excited about firing Joe Schoen, and I would really, I really look forward to it in the near future, and I think it's going to be a great firing.
No question, Mike. Probably the conversations themselves is what led me to believe there would be great collaboration. I mean, obviously,
I did not know Dart didn't show up, so I didn't know Dart didn't show up. Alejandro said, Alejandro, is that Alejandro? Alejandro says, I'm putting a bet on FanDuel now for the Giants to win the Super Bowl next season. Oh, yeah. 23 and motherfucking 0. That's where we're going. 23 and 0, babies. Book it.
You get to know Joe.
You can hear all this, right? You can hear the press. I got so excited, I'm not even sure I hit the right buttons.
And we start talking ball, and you see he's a football man. This is a guy that this guy lives and breathes football. His knowledge is deep. He knows the league.
I love that. Yeah, Dylan says, yeah, but talking ball matters. Doubt guys like Banks talk ball. It matters. Meet many players who don't want to talk ball, and they end up fading out because they desire isn't there. I agree with that. I think there's some guys on this team who desire isn't there, and not just Deontay Banks. And we're going to talk about what's going to go on. We're going to talk about but not today. We're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about it today, but we're going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Knows the coaches in the league. He knows the players in the league.
He knows Dan Morgan. Talk about Joe Schoen.
All the scouts in the league too, I bet,
I hope to God he doesn't know all the scouts in the league, because then looking at our draft classes the last 4 years, all the scouts in the league are stupid, except for the guy that's coming on February 12th, who's retiring February 1st. This is a gentleman that always gives us our information. We'll be on.
He was impressive to me, and it was just really a joy to talk football, then really dig into some of the plans that we might have going forward, see what we can build here. So I was impressed. Very impressed.
Lame duck general manager, and he's impressed. I love him. He lies when he has to, or he rephrase it. I don't think Coach Harbaugh's lying. He bends the truth a little bit about certain things, such as Joe Schoen. I want to play the Joe Schoen clip again. I love the Joe Schoen clip. I love it. It's almost like you could see his heart just ripping and he's about to cry.
Press. Hello. Jackson Thompson, Fox News. Welcome. Hey, Jackson. Several days before you were hired, President Trump put out a post advocating for you to become the next head coach of the Giants. How does it feel knowing the President of the United States has endorsed you for the job you're about to undertake? It feels really great. And I'll tell you, I also noticed on that post that he said, then John, take the job. So I thought that John Mara might have something to do with that. I don't know, but it's cool. And it's sports, it's sports. And everybody's excited. Everybody follows it at every level. And that's what we're going to try to do, and try to bring a bunch of coaches in there. We're going to talk about coaches. Obviously, great coaches. And everybody's excited. Everybody follows it at every level. People follow football. They follow the Giants. They follow the National Football League. Like we said, it's the biggest sport, And this is it's the most iconic franchise in the biggest sport. So here we are.
John Ryan Dunleavy from the New York Post. What are you looking for in your coordinators and your position coaches, and when will those interviews?
Listen, I don't care who he hires. I really don't. I could give two shits who he hires, because as of 3/21 today, he is the greatest coach that the Giants have had in the last 10 years or 14 years since Coughlin. So he could hire Kermit the Frog, also known as Stephen A. Smith. Hey-o! I'm just joking. Well, no, don't hire the fucking offensive coordinator from former offensive coordinator from the Eagles. But he's to me right now, he's got carte blanche.
You start including anybody who is, retained on staff.
Right. Well, we'll start tomorrow with the interviews. Obviously, great coaches, I believe.
Motherfucker is starting tomorrow. So you get a pink slip, and you get a pink slip, and you get a pink slip. Oh, I'm so excited.
On this staff that we're looking forward to talking to people all across the league, talking to people in Baltimore, obviously, too. We're going to try to build we will build the very best coaching staff that we can. I'll tell you, it'll be a great coaching staff. But my dad always said it starts with teachers. Coaches are teachers first. The ability to teach, the ability to take a vision that's well organized, a structure that's put together in a really good way that the players can play fast.
Wait a minute. We're going to have a vision and a structure? Well, that doesn't sound right. That sounds like a smart plan. Why the fuck would we do that? Dylan says entitlement is gone. You want your players as an NY Giant moving forward. I agree. It's all gone, baby.
Play around their skill set. You got to create something like that and then present it to the guys and train it in a way that the guys can get out there and play with a lot of confidence, and just cut it loose and play fast. And that's what we're going to try to do, and try to bring a bunch of coaches in there that are capable of building that. We're going to do that.
I got to tell you guys, this is actually the first time I've listened to the press conference. I didn't want to listen to the new. It started late, as always, just because the Giants evidently don't own a fucking watch. It started late. So my wife is texting me. I got pulled over by the police today, which was hilarious. Everyone remind me to tell the story about how I got. Everyone remind me how I tell the story about how I got pulled over by the police, and they told me I went 40 miles an hour and 25 yards in a 21-year-old Ford F-150, and my progressive snapshot says I was doing 14 miles an hour. So it was one of these. Really? I think your radar gun might be off, considering my thing says 14 miles an hour. Sorry.
Bruce Beck, NBC4 New York. John, how do you build a winning culture?
You fire Joe Schoen. That's the start. And I have a clip of Joe Schoen where you pretty much think he's going to cry. So I fire Joe Schoen. I fire the entire scouting department, the entire analytics department. I fire anyone in the building that has any type of association with Joe Schoen and the loser staff, and we move forward and from that direction. And I think that will really devise a winning program.
And how long will it take for this team to win?
That's the second part's impossible to say, but I'm planning on day one. So that's what we'll be shooting for. That's what we'll be working for. And
John Harbaugh, we did win on day one. We have you. We have one. The Giants literally have one on day one. I've already said this is probably a 6 to 7 win team because the talent still is not there yet. but this is a 6-7 win team. Wait, let's see. Prince says, Tim, wait until we were all together to watch the press conference. Was one big. Yes, I literally did not watch the press, and it was killing me. It was Prince. It was literally killing me that I did not watch the press conference because of the fact that I wanted to watch it with everyone on the channel. I thought, and like, you could have watched it. That's fine, but I wanted to get the first impressions while I watched it with everyone here.
Fully expect it to happen. You build anything together. You build it from the inside out. It's going to be a reflection. You know, culture is kind of a crazy word. You know, what does it really mean? You know, it's a worldview. It's a shared understanding.
I already love that answer because Joe Schoen all he preached was culture. It's about culture. And I love John Harbaugh. Coach Harbaugh.
What the fuck does culture mean? What it means this. Come on.
It's a vision. It's everybody being on the same page. It's talking the same language, all these kind of things, same values, same type of beliefs, right? Okay, that's like a social studies class maybe we're talking here. So what is...
He insulted Joe Schoen. No, he insulted Joe Judge without insulting Joe Judge. I fucking love it.
In football, it's a bunch of guys that see the game the same way. It's a bunch of guys that want to play the game together the same way. It's a relentless brotherhood, having each other's back, being unwilling to give up because...
Oh, I'm very verklempt right now because I literally love this guy. I don't care if he does. He could win 2 games. He's not going to win 2 games. He could win 2 games next year. Sorry, wrong person. Sorry, wrong person. He could win 2. Sorry, wrong person. He could win 2 games next year. I don't care. Just these answers alone has given me hope again.
That guy next year is unwilling to give up. You know, all these things that these guys believe in. We'll decide what the culture looks like together every single day by what we do together. All right. And that's how you build it together.
Okay. Tom.
Hey, John. Tom Rock from Newsday. How are you? One of your early mentors was Andy Reid, who has gone on to have a pretty successful second act. And
okay, I don't want to talk about Andy Reid. So we're going to skip it. I don't
his
want to talk
career.
About
Pretty fair.
I'm sure you've spoken to him.
You meet people in places and circumstances, and ball.
Oh, it's right here.
Hey, John. Art Stapleton from the Bergen Record and NorthJersey.com. Just curious, you obviously 18 years ago, you had a vision, and 18 years later, I'm sure you have that same vision, but I'm curious, from what you learned, do you come here knowing that the path can be different, and how much of that vision has changed through the...
Okay, this is a stupid question. No, I've learned nothing in 18 years. I have honestly not learned a damn thing. I don't do anything differently than I did 18 years ago, even though I won with Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson, which is like, you can't get any difference in quarterbacks. Stupid question.
Years of what you want to do and how you build a champion.
It's probably going to be a fucking awesome answer. But this is anytime you have to end with BergenRecord.com sports page at .com gmail.net Netscape.
Well, one of the things you learn a lot. One of the things is this, that they're principles, right? And the principles of the vision you're talking about, that's that word.
I told you he was going to give a great answer. I told you he was going to give great. He's like me. He just gives great fucking answers.
Are written in stone. Their football principles are self-evident truths.
I should put it on this screen so I'm just looking around. I'm watching my other monitor.
Going to ever change. Those are things that you carry with you through 18 years or 42 years or whatever it is. You carry those principles with you. You learn what they are, and they're non-compromised. They can't be. They have to happen. The methods, those things are like drawn in the dirt. You're drawing up a play. Come on, guys. Here's what we're going to do, and you draw it in the dirt. You got to keep those things moving. Play calls, defensive schemes, blitz patterns, how you lift weights, how you train, whatever, how you practice. Practices have changed a lot, haven't they, over the years? They've changed a ton. So all those things are all going to change as we go.
I'm coming out of retirement. I'm hitting the gym tomorrow. I'm going to be ready for training camp. I'm coming out of retirement because I want to play for John Harbaugh.
Oh, so those things, 18 years and 40-some years, they've all evolved and changed and grown, and they'll continue to change every single day. So understand those two things, principles and methods, and try to merge them the best you can to try to win the next game. Keep it simple. try to win the next game.
What's up, Big O?
That's what we'll try to do.
Hey, John. Pat Leonard from the New York Daily News. What qualities do you prioritize in the players that you acquire and that will play for you for the New York Giants?
I would like to say that I'm looking for talent and players that have talent and players that don't have perceived talent by who are brought in by an idiotic general manager. So those are the type of qualities I look for. Players that actually have, talent.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of qualities that go into it. I mean, Joe's got lists and lists of qualities for all different positions and all that you'd be looking for. But to me, the number one,
Coach Harbaugh's like lists and lists. Rip. Oh, no, that list's fucking gone.
Thing is, we have to have guys that love football. I mean, you just have to. It's football.
Guys that love football. Guys that's the thing. Guys that love football. Guys that want to be here. Guys that want to play for this organization. That's what we want to have here. Guys that eat, breathe, and just inhale football. That's what we. Thank you, Coach Harbaugh. Thank you.
That's what are we here for? What do we do? What is this building for? It's for football. This is a football team, and we need guys that love everything about football. They love the games.
So we're probably not going to be practicing TikTok dances in the locker room that we're going to be doing in the end zone. We might learn some football, maybe to throw the ball over 10 yards.
The practices, they love the weightlifting. They love the meetings. They love the dining hall. They love every part of football, man.
The dining hall is nice. The cafeteria is nice. I've been in the cafeteria. Big L can attest. He's been in the cafeteria with me. We've been in the cafeteria. Very nice. The cafeteria staff is actually very nice. So,
and if you love football, guys, you're going to want to be here. You're going to want to drive in that parking lot every single day. You're going to want to walk through those doors. You want to walk.
I want to drive into the parking lot now. Can I do that now? Can I drive into the? Is it? What's up, Big Greg? Can I go, Coach Harbaugh,
Tim Daniels, can I go now?
Up in those halls, you're going to want to get in front of that tape and watch tape every single day because you're going to be around a bunch of guys that love what you love. They love football because that's what we're going to be doing, football, all the time, every day. And if there's guys, around that don't love football, Joe, we're probably going to let those guys go play somewhere else,
I
love that answer. If you don't love, not looking at you, Jalen Hyatt, not looking at you, Mr. Banks. If you don't love football, you are no longer going to be here. Oh, dear Lord. You mean there's this thing called accountability? I don't know what that is.
No, because if you don't love football, you're not going to love it here because we'll be doing football. That's the plan. All right.
John, congratulations. Ian O'Connor with The Athletic. Just trying to sustain winning over the long term is probably the hardest thing to do in a league built on parity. But is there a common thread that ran through your 18 years in Baltimore, whether it was physicality or something else that you think you could apply here that's sort of mandatory to have the same kind of success?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. To me, it goes back to every single day. I mean, you just never know what the next day is going to bring. And you got to understand that it's really not about what you face. Sometimes the triumphs are much more dangerous than the trials. Sometimes the good.
To Prince. Yeah, they're gonna put neon in the cafeteria and say they restructured it.
Good times are the things that you got to be more wary of than the tough times. So we've got to do a great job of handling all the circumstances in the best possible way to keep it simple and keep in mind what's important. It's even as much as I'm sure the guys love all the media. They love all you guys being around probably every single day, right? It's really great. But, but we got to keep it about football. So we want to do our jobs and be respectful of all the opportunities.
You want to keep it about football. I mean, this guy is he's phenomenal. He is. Make sure you're hitting the like button, guys. We had 47 likes, and I really do appreciate it. But just hit the like button because now that we have to stay, you got to hit the like button. Because Mrs. OBB won't let me come out and play if you guys don't let me. Mom won't let me come out and play if you guys don't hit the like button. She already told me if people don't hit the like button, you're not allowed to go out and play with your friends.
That come with that. But really what it boils down to is let's attack this day with an enthusiasm. And let's get ready for the next challenge that's in front of us, whether it's OTA practice or, we got squat day tomorrow, Got to be great. Got to have a great squat day.
Okay, what time is squat day? Because I'll be there. I know I'm not under contract yet, but Joe, what time is squat time? Because what time is squat day? Because I'm going to be there.
Whatever it might be, we got to be ready to roll. So I think that's probably the thread that runs through those 18 years. Just kind of taking that mindset every day and everybody believing in it. And then being, it's how you play. And when that tape comes on, that tape is going to last forever. And you're going to want to be proud of what you see. So you got to make a decision and a choice beforehand. How am I going to play? What's that tape going to look like? It's not about whether you make the play. Well, it is whether you win or lose. Ultimately, whether you make the play or don't make the play. We know that because it's a player's game. But what you can decide on is how you're going to play. How hard am I going to play? How physical am I going to play? How much are you going to be locked into my assignment, okay, to try to do things the right way, my footwork, my technique, try to win my battle.
Wait a minute, stop. We're going to teach footwork and techniques? This guy's fucking crazy.
Willing to finish the play? Am I going to run all the way to the ball, all right, and then arrive there in a real bad attitude and make a statement when I get there? Am I willing to do that every single play? I don't have to decide, maybe he'll make the tackle. I don't have to run over there. No. You put your foot in the ground, you start running, right? That's what great defenses do. So that's it. I mean, that's to me, those two things. If you do that, then you have a chance. All right, then you have a chance, and you go let the chips fly.
Steve Wino, Associated Press. John, you mentioned good conversations with Joe during this process. What's it like to sort of get to know and work with a new person after 18 years somewhere else? And what do you expect that sort of relationship to be on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
I expect my coffee to have 2 sugars. And not every day, but a bagel with cream cheese would be nice. And if he could just keep the office around like 73.5 when he first comes in, and light starch, and if he can just do those things, I think we're going to have Josh and I will have a wonderful working relationship.
I expect it to be phenomenally great. I think it's going to be incredible. I really do. I mean, I already know because we've had a chance to start talking to each other, but you work with new people all the time. But Joe's been around the National Football League for years and years. He's got tremendous amount of experience. I'm going to be
just not success anywhere he's going.
Be leaning on him, and he's going to be leaning on me. We're going to be leaning on everybody around us, right? And it's not just it's.
Somebody looks at Joe like, Joe, nod. John, when I say right and point to you, you nod. Don't say anything. You just nod.
It's not just us. I mean, it's a whole organization. We're going up the chain. We've got incredible experience all the way up to the very top here, all right, in different areas. And John Mara, nobody knows more about this league, right? So we'll be working, whatever it might be. It's X's and O's, it's strategic planning, it's the draft, it's free agency, it's contracts, people all through the building that are just incredibly talented people. So the idea is let's work together, all right? Let's work together every single day and let's build something great.
Hey, John, Jordan Ronan from ESPN.
Jordan Ronan from ESPN. Yeah, that guy's a fucking moron. It's Jordan Ronan. It's going to be a stupid question.
I'm curious, when you did a lot of
and Jordan Ronan will be on the show next week.
Research and
just kidding.
Background on the roster before you got here, like the last few weeks. What did you see when you looked at the roster?
I see a lot of really good players when I look at the roster. Really, well, not the roster so much as the tape. That's where you look. You look at the tape. That's what shows you, right, guys? It shows you. It's on the tape. So I look at the tape. And I see a lot of good football players, and not just me.
I love it. He's not looking at the names. He's looking at the tape. That is a football coach answer. I'm not looking at the names on the back of the jerseys. I'm looking at the tape. Such a great answer. Such a great answer. Greatest coach in the world.
My dad. All right, so he calls me up about 3 days into this process, and he goes, "You watch the Giants?"
He meant to say our dad, because I'm going to get adopted by the Harbaughs.
I'm like, "Yeah, I watch them. He goes, "You see the way they come off the ball on offense? You see that offensive line? You see that offense? You see those guys? You see that quarterback? You see that defense? You see that front? You see those guys flying around back there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it. So when my dad told me, I knew it was true. We have a chance. Yeah.
Hey, John, Dan Duggan from The Athletic. A big change with your arrival is having the head coach report directly to ownership. Just curious, why was that something that was important to you?
Well, to me,
Well, to me, Joe Schoen sucks. And, I just felt it easier that when we let him go and I bring in my own general manager, we will have the ability to desuckify this team by releasing the toxicity that is also known as the Joe Schoen.
it's really not that important in the big picture and big scheme of things. I think it's kind of over.
It's not that important, but it almost derailed the entire negotiations. And as of Saturday, you were still talking to the Titans. That's not important at all, though.
Overblown just a little bit in terms of how it works. But the main
I'm not going to call him a liar because you have to be political at times. There's no, like I said, there's no bullshit meter today because he's been pretty straightforward, but there's certain things that you have to do. If his dad's in the 80s, fine. Yeah. He had me when he was young. Yeah. He had me in his 20s. So there's nothing wrong with that.
thing is that it works, and that we work together. That's what matters.
John Harbaugh's older than I am. So John Harbaugh is my older brother. And I think Jim is probably my younger brother. And I don't know if there's any other kids.
So that's kind of what I was used to. And it felt like a good way to kind of start off. And I think Mr. Mara was happy about that. It seemed like it made sense. And I'm just happy. But I don't think it really matters. I think we're all going to work together. And
it doesn't matter until there's a disagreement.
I promise you, we all report to the boss, right? And the boss is ownership. And John Mara is running football operations here, and he's running it. And I'm glad he is. And that's also all the families.
I've always said that John Mara, to me, is a very astute person in football operations. I believe I've always said that. And anytime I might have said differently, I was probably on drugs.
Everybody involved. That's where it starts, and we respect that, right, Joe? And we want our bosses to be happy. We want them to be smiling and happy. We want them to know we're trying to do things the right way every single day, and that's what matters. All the other stuff is just that's a great question. It means everything. I mean, I have the most amazing. Seemed like it made sense, and
you,
to me, it's the Giants. I'm like, yeah, I watch them. He goes, you see, I think Mr. Mara was happy about that. It seemed like it made sense, and I'm just happy. But I don't think it really matters. I think we're all going to work together, and I promise you, we all report to the boss, right? And
that's
the
hitting the like
boss
button.
is ownership. And
I report to the boss as well, and she says you guys are not hitting the like button fast enough, and so make sure you do that for the boss.
And John Mara is running football operations here, and he's running it. And I'm glad he is. And that's also all the families and everybody involved. That's where it starts. And we respect that, right, Joe? And we want our bosses to be happy. We want them to be smiling and happy. We want them to know we're trying to do things the right way every single day. And that's what matters. All the other stuff is just that's a great question.
There was a skip. That wasn't me. I don't know what the question is because there's a skip in the press conference.
It means everything. I mean, I have the most amazing wife and the most incredible daughter, and it's just the three of us, 3 Ps, the three.
And my brothers, Tim and John and Jim, great brothers too.
Ps in a pod. That's what we call ourselves, and it's just incredible. We've been together for a long, long time, and this profession is crazy. I mean, it's you live a lifetime in a season in the National Football League. It's the things that you go through, the ups and the downs, and the emotional roller coaster, and the conversation.
You live a lifetime in a season. I love that quote. I'm gonna write that down. You live a lifetime in a season. I love that quote. That is a quote. That is a fucking quote.
The challenges these players can tell you. Everybody that works here can tell you that. It's that. Then it's not just you. It's your family. Your wife is with you every step of the way and more because she'll tell me you're not out there. You're not out there hearing it every single day. You get to go to your office and you don't have to listen to anything. Right? You've said that to me. She's out there. She's fighting. She's out there fending them off. And
Mrs. OBB does that. So I understand that.
So I appreciate that. I got to fight her for a wife, and you better, So No, it's been what it is, and it's been great because it just because of who we are together. So, very very proud of that. Very happy with that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, John. Joe Masseri, Pix 11. Congratulations again here. The NFL is a league where we see teams go worst to first all the time. Plenty of evidence this year. Is there a similar characteristic you see among those teams that that manage to have those big turnarounds from one year to the next? And do you see what do you see here that indicates that?
Well, that's a great question, and it's probably something that maybe I should take a look at. We'll do some kind of study. We got all these analytics guys, so we'll have them do a study on that. But to me, I see the teams that play really good. That's what I see, and the teams that play really good have a.
Okay, I'm going to do my first critique of Coach Harbaugh. Teams that play really well. Okay, I have to find something wrong with him. Not good, Coach Harbaugh. Teams that play really well. Okay, so let's try to be grammatically correct, because not everyone can be 100% awesome like me. But just want to throw that out. I got just people always look for the negativity. There you go. There's my negativity. It shouldn't be good, Coach Harbaugh. Well.
A lot of common denominators, and we've been talking about those things throughout the course of this press conference. So that's what we're going to be chasing. It's going to be about how we play. It's going to be about us every single day, just becoming as good as we can be. If we're going to be in coverage, we need to be square. Our eyes need to be where it's supposed to be. We need to be doing things the right way. So whatever it is.
Wait a minute. We're going to do things the right way. I don't know if I can handle that. We've been doing shit the wrong way for 15 years. We're going to do stuff the right way now? God, I got to be positive all the time now? Because we're going to do things the right way. Oh, dear Lord.
Let's do it the right way and see how good we can get.
Beautiful. Anything else? Coach, we're all set.
All right, great. Thank you very much. It's an honor. Thanks a lot.
Well, they didn't... Can we play the Joe Schoen clip just one more time? This is someone asking Joe Schoen about the fact that he no longer has any power whatsoever, and can we just play? We got to just play this clip one more time. Then I'm going to get to the chat.
And it sounds like it's going to be him from Chris Mara just saying his voice will carry the most weight.
I love Chris Mara now. I used to have problems with Chris Mara. I love Chris Mara now.
Was that humbling for you? What did that require for you to give up what you've had, which is the final say in the collaborative process?
Yeah, because he sucked in the last 4 years in every type of collaborative process there is.
And I'm not worried about that. Everywhere I've been in the league for 26 years. So everywhere I've been, the head coach and general manager work together. That's the only way it's going to work. And
yes, everywhere you've been, they work together, but not everywhere you've been does the head coach have final say and go directly to the owner. That's so great. That's so fucking awesome.
On the same page, go through the process. Again, we've done it everywhere I've been, so I'm not.
Pretty soon off Broadway, Joe Schoen's going to be selling used cars. Listen, this 2019 Dodge Challenger RTS, beautiful car. I just put the undercoating on.
Worried about it, like you said, that's just something on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. We need.
It's just something. I love it. It's just something contractually written on a piece of paper that has been legally looked over by the attorneys and signed off by all parties. But it doesn't matter. I still have just as much authority that I never had before. Maybe a little less. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button.
We'll work together, and we're going to come to the final conclusion. And it's always going to be about what's best for the New York Giants. So I have no problem with that. And
so if it's always going to be what's best for the New York Giants, if Coach Harbaugh says, John, we're going to fire you because it's what's best for the New York Giants, and Joe doesn't agree with it, he just goes to the owner, so you're fired?
I'm looking forward to working with him.
Saying it sounds like it's going to be.
And he takes this huge drink of water. It's great. It's great. I love it. What does it say? Man, it feels good to have a coach. Joe looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger on Total Recall, losing oxygen. That's why he had to suck on the water bottle, because he was out of oxygen. Oh, I'm tired now. now I'm fucking tired. I think I need to go lay down because that was exhausting. I'm gonna open up the chat early. Here we go. I'm gonna put the link in the chat early because I am curious. Anyone that wants to come on and wants to do whatever, I'm in. Joe is gone next year. Isn't next year now, OGR? And thank you for the super chat. All super chats go to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Isn't Joe gone now? Isn't he gone now? It's not next year. He's gone now. What do we got here? Me more Hot Pockets. Me more Hot Pockets. Mom, more.
Mom, more Hot Pockets.
More Hot Pockets. Don't be so mean to Sleepy Joe. I'm sorry. Sleepy Joe, I'm sorry. Mom, more Hot Pockets, which is the greatest fucking name. And I know you stole it from me, so I don't care because I'm going to allow it. That is the greatest fucking name that we have. Mom, more Hot Pockets. Let's go to the top of the chat. OGR, if you're on, if you're available, you should come on. Hit that like button. Says that Omega Spring says my favorite quote is if you have guys that don't love to play football, they will be playing somewhere else. That is a mandate for the players. Oh yeah, and it's literally he's like, I'm not looking at you, Deontay Banks, Jalen Hyatt. Not looking at you at all. Omega says Harbaugh looked like a senator or a governor. He kind of did look like a governor a little bit. Let's see. JW says, I don't know if the new coach was asked by the media if he's going to draft a quarterback. Tim, if you would be the prick Giant fans that asked the coach the question, please. Oh, I would ask him. No, I wouldn't ask him that question. That's not a good question because the only quarterback that's really a standout in this draft is going number 1 overall. And Mendoza proved that yesterday. That run for the touchdown was like something you saw out of a movie. I thought I was literally watching Varsity Blues. There goes my hero. Hit, let's see, OGR. You want to come back, don't you? You want to be a fucking giant content creator right now, don't you?
I really don't have time for it.
Just shut up and say yes.
Yes, I would like to be a giant.
There you go. You know, don't put. Don't.
I do have to say something about my super chat there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When I meant next year is after the end of the season, in 2027, he will be fired. No doubt.
But the problem is here's the problem about your super chat, and I love it because all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Next year, 2026 hasn't even started yet. We're still in the 2025 season.
Yeah, technically.
Not technically. We haven't played the Super Bowl yet.
No, you're right.
I know. I'm always right. Have you not watched the show? I already said Chris Mara is the greatest owner, along with John Mara, that they're the greatest fucking owners ever in the history of the world. I've said that at least 1,000 times in the last 55 minutes.
So when's Chris Mara coming on?
Soon.
Is Believe gonna get it? Is Believe getting it for you?
We have someone coming on, and I can't in the next 2 weeks. We got a guest on Friday coming on, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it on Friday. But we have a guest coming on the next 2 weeks, and no, it's not Carl Banks. We have a guest coming on the next 2 weeks that's going to blow your fucking mind.
Phil Simms.
I'm not going to tell you, but this guest is literally going to blow your fucking mind.
That's what she said.
Because when I was told about it, I was like, you're bullshitting me. And they're like, nope. I'm like, okay. It's like, alrighty then. So you listen to the press conference, OGR. I'm trying to get the fan perspective. You listen to the press conference. We've heard the press conferences from Brian Dable. We've heard it from Joe Judge. We've heard it from Pat Shurmur. Is there any difference between what those three guys said and what Coach Harbaugh has said in so eloquently and under 24 minutes?
Well, first, I felt that, didn't it feel like Shurmur's and Dable's went longer?
It did. They did. That's why I said in under 24 minutes.
So, I mean, it's just, you can tell that there's meaning behind what he says, where Shurmur and Dable, it was all pleasantries. Like there was no meaning behind it.
It was concise.
So, absolutely.
It was concise. It was focused. It was beautiful.
But at the end of the day, you know, I'm happy, but I'm still at a wait and see approach because roster.
Well, that's why I said this is to me this is still a 6-7 win team next year.
Yeah.
You know, we won 4 games this year, and I've said it the other day. I literally assume that there will be 3 additional wins just for coaching alone for this team. Because to the fact that he's talking about not making the mental mistakes, you know, I love the part where he goes, you know, you put your foot in the dirt and you take off and you go after the ball. I love that because I've heard that expression a million times before, and it's just it's not with Dable and Judge and them. It was always to me coach speak. You know, it was the cliche, you know, we're going to try our best. We're going to give it one game at a time, and God willing, we're going to win.
So over under Deontay Bake gets cut.
Depending on who the the defensive coordinator is, you might have a coordinator coming. Because like I said, I have no idea what style of defense they're going to play. I have no style. It's been literally 3 hours and 46 minutes or 48 minutes since he's been introduced as the coach. I have no idea what they're going to play. If they bring in a Wink style coordinator or Steve Wilkes style, or not Robert Saleh, of course, because he's got the coaching job. I think you keep Banks. I think you're stuck with Paulson and Debo for another season. I think you keep them and maybe tailor your defense to, I don't know, the skills that the players have.
100%. You should always tailor to what the skills have, and that's what I love. The fact that him and his dad are evaluating the team. That's awesome.
You know what? I got to say, Dad. Our dad is awesome. You know, he's always evaluating. He's always doing the things like, you know, one day, you know, me and Jim and John were sitting around, you know, talk about our dad because he's awesome. So for those of you not know, I've been adopted by the Harbaughs. Honestly, right now, if the Maras want to adopt me, I would become a Mara.
Yeah,
I used to think our one sister didn't have any talents in the movies, but now I think she's the greatest, most talented person in the movies there is. I
love this, Tim. I love it.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long it fucking lasts because you know they're going to do something stupid. Not Coach Harbaugh, but you know they're still going to do something.
But he has final say though. So if Joe does something stupid, he's going to be like, Joe, get me another coffee. That's not happening.
Can we just play the clip one more time?
Sure.
Can we just, because it's almost like you could literally watch the reporter reach into Joe Schoen's chest and just pull his heart out.
Saying it sounds like it's going to be him from Chris Mara just saying his voice will carry the most weight. Was that humbling for you? What did that require for you to give up what you've had, which is the final say in the collaborative process?
Yeah, and I'm not worried about that.
No, I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it at all. We're going to be fine.
I mean, does the man not have the easiest job in sports right now?
To be stupid, yeah. He's the king of it. But hold on, I love this part.
Where I've been in the league for 26 years.
And he's never won, but he's been in the league for 26 years. That's always a great pedigree. I've never won anything, but I've been in the league for 26 years. Yeah, you're going to say I did work in Buffalo, but we never went to a Super Bowl.
So everywhere I've been, the head coach and general manager work together.
Of course, the head coach and general manager, as you know, do work together.
Yeah, they're in the same building.
They're in the same building. Yeah, you're right. They're in the same building. I didn't think about that. They're in the same building.
It's the only way it's going to work. And get on the same page, go through the process. Again, we've done it everywhere I've been. So I'm not worried about it. Like you said, that's just something on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. We need to work together.
I love it. It's just something on a piece of paper. It doesn't matter. How OGR, just talk me down. How delusional is that motherfucker?
He's not delusional. He's trying to. He's been hearing it. I mean, he has to hear the noise. He's been hearing it forever. That like Chris Mara went down. Like, have you not heard the reports of him like contacting he contacted Harbaugh right off the rip.
Yeah.
And then Chris Mara steps in right away. So Chris probably had the feeling of this kid's going to fuck this up. I'm going to go down there myself and straighten this shit up because this guy can fucking no, you're 100% right. There's no talking you down because I agree with you. The guy's, he's not delusional. He's just so neutered and so nervous. He just has to say the pleasantry or the thing to get him by. Why do you need him? Seriously, Brandon Beane can't do this.
I think that what really gets me is the fact that there was rumors now coming out earlier today and some last night that John Harbaugh's team, as early as Saturday, was still talking to the Titans because of the language in the contract that, according to Joe Schoen, means nothing. It's just on a piece of paper. But literally, it must have meant something to Coach Harbaugh because of the fact that he was literally still talking to the Titans as early as Saturday.
Yeah, no, and that's why Mara did everything in his power. Listen, this is not a piece of paper. This is what we're going to do. Whatever you want, you're going to get to a certain extent. Because I don't believe if you go to John and you just say, okay, have it all, he would respect that. There should be a negotiation. He wants you to negotiate, but in good fairness.
Mr. Weaver says, if you close your eyes, you swear he sounds like a young Tom Coughlin. Let's go, G-Man. We are back. It's funny because I went back and I didn't find the Coughlin press conference. I found some Coughlin interviews. And I think Coughlin was 56 when he took the job. So he was in 60. So Harbaugh 63. So yeah, Coughlin was younger. But you kind of heard in the interviews with Coughlin, you kind of heard the same thing. It's about the players. It's about getting people that want to be here. It's about getting people on the roster that are excited to be New York Giants. And OGR, I don't think we've had that really in this facility and I don't know how long. It's probably since Coughlin.
I agree with that 100%. But the other thing I like too is the fact that he used the term New York Football Giants.
Oh, I love that.
And not only that, I had a point. I was going to ask you a question. Darn, lost it. But
well, here, could you hold on? You take over the show a second.
Okay. What do we have in the chat? I can't even read it. I have to get so close to my phone. If you close your eyes, I swear it sounds like Tom Coughlin. Okay, so that one just went by. But man, I wasn't prepared for this at all. Tim put me on the spot, which is kind of funny. But no, talking about it, I love the John Harbaugh hire. I think all of you love the John Harbaugh hire. For me, it the words are nice. The meaning behind it is nice. Now I want to see action. We all know that we have holes all over the roster. And for me, you're going to have questions at offensive line. What are you going to do with Julian Illuminor? What are you going to do with Greg Van Roten? Because he's 1,000 years old. You need to get depth. The one thing I want the Giants to address the most is depth. I think you guys can all agree with that in the chat. Tim has complained about it for years. I even said it going back to my days on YouTube. So that's just the reality of the situation. But sorry about that. I had to step away for 2 seconds. But yeah, getting back to it, offensive line, I want depth. That's the one thing.
Sorry about that. The HVAC guy locked himself in the closet.
That's impressive.
Well, no, there's a latch on the outside of the door, and I laugh because he texted me. I hate to interrupt you, but I'm locked in the HVAC closet.
That's awesome.
You never locked yourself in? That was awesome, though. What did I miss besides Tim is awesome?
No, I got into just, you know, obviously that I like the Harbaugh hire, but the one thing that I want the Giants to address with Harbaugh, and obviously he will do that, is depth. I think that's the biggest.
We don't have any depth.
That's why you need to address it, Tim.
We don't have any. I mean, oh, you know what we do have though? Say what?
Say what?
You know what we do have though? We have the greatest site in the world for you to go to. That's FanDuel.com, the #1 sports book in America. FanDuel.com. Anytime you want to go place a bet, anytime you want to do anything sports betting related, I go to FanDuel.com. Right now, new customers, if you win on a $5 bet, you get $300 in bonus bets if you win. Again, I'm going to say it slow. New customers bet $5, you get $300 in bonus bets if you win. They got sportsbook, they got casino games, they got fantasy, they got racing, they got the research, they got the FanDuel television, which I always tell people that I love. I'm not going to say anything, but I did fairly well.
I did fairly well actually last week.
Last night, I did fairly well last night at a certain football game that we should not be. But you know what? I got a parlay for you, OGR. On a $10 wager, this parlay will be $240.93. It's for the Lakers and the Golden Nuggets. Jamal Murray, 5+ threes made. Luka, 4 threes made. Tim Hardaway Jr., 3 threes made. LeBron James, only 2 threes made. You put the $10 wager down, you get $240.93 back in return. Again, that's FanDuel.com right now. New customers, we're in playoff mode, of course, for FanDuel.com. In reference to the NFL, I will say it one more time. Bet $5 as a new customer, get $300 in bonus bets if you win. It's FanDuel.com. Don't forget to game responsibly.
And Tim, I did very well on FanDuel last week.
You better be doing FanDuel.
Because, absolutely. And I saw that line open up for Rams and Bears, and then I saw the weather, and I'm like, that's not happening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's actually one of the games I did well on in FanDuel the other day. Was that one? Because I looked at the same thing. I was like, okay.
Did they want to print out free money?
Hey, listen, are you complaining that you went to FanDuel.com and got free money? When you first joined FanDuel, did you take your $5? Did you win on your $5 bet?
I think it was a different promotion when I first joined.
Okay. I didn't know if you had jumped on the mighty FanDuel for that $5 bet and win $300 in bonus bets if you win. But yes, I did extremely well in FanDuel myself. So I'm not gonna brag too much. But yes, FanDuel's awesome, and I'm just as awesome as they are. Oh, is there anything you watched this press conference and you saw everything that went on, and I think it was just a point that we've talked about it before. It's about having potentially the adults back in the room again, or maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just having a professional coach. Did you reach the point when you were listening? I mean, did you listen to the press conference before we did, or this was the first time you heard it?
No, I listened to it right at 12 o'clock.
Okay. So when you were listening to it at 12 o'clock, when you heard him speak, were you just like, what the hell's, because literally as I'm watching, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? He's eloquent. He's football smart. And he doesn't seem to be a total moron. He seems to be exactly what you would think a coach who has the pedigree coming in here. I think the big question is, after the last 15 years, did you ever think we would reach this point where we had a coach that you were just like, wow, I think we're actually going to win something?
I'll say this. When you get a coach of this caliber, obviously it's something to be proud of, but it showed me that just among people in the league, not fans, people in the league, this job is still respected, because he took this job for legacy. Because he could have went to Miami and retired. He could have gone to the Titans, who probably maybe on paper are better prepared than we are. Or, maybe he could have gone to the Raiders to have the first overall pick. Or
and 130 million cap space.
Atlanta, who has a bunch of pieces. And if we really believe in Michael Penix, maybe there's something there. But no, he chose this because this job means something. This job has legacy. And that's what I took from it, because he shows the respect for the job and and how important it is to turn this team around, not only for himself, but just for the general fan base, because he's known what we've gone through. So I just love the fact that he has the respect for the job, and the the mantra of the Giants name is still there.
I mean, when I first started watching the Giants, and like I said, I'm old. Bill Armsberger was the head coach. He was 7-28. Then we went over to John McCabe, and he was 14 and I don't know 20 something. I don't remember. Then we finally got a light a day with Ray Perkins, and Ray was only 23 and 30 something. I don't remember exactly, but he did make the playoffs. And then we finally landed in Parcells, but we had that issue with Parcells after the 83 season. So I went through a valley of despair for 3 head coaches till we got to Parcells. And this is what I try to tell people, because then if you go after that, my head coaches were Ray Handley, Dan Reeves, Fossil, Deuce. You got to put Spagnola in there because he did coach you, even though in the interim. Shermer, Judge, Dable, Kafka, and now fucking Harbaugh finally. I mean, you have to be. There's no way as a Giant fan you cannot be elated about this guy literally choosing this job. To your point, and I've said it before over and over again. To me, I feel it's legacy as well.
Yeah, but Dan Reeves. Don't forget, was highly sought after or highly thought of when he came to the
highly thought of.
Yeah. So, because I mean, he did a solid job in Denver before he came. So.
Yeah, he just never won anything in Denver. I have just as many Super Bowl wins as Dan Reeves has. I'm just gonna throw that out there, and I have more rings than he does because I got boxes of them. So we don't talk about losers, because Dan Reeves, R.I.P., was a loser because he didn't win the Super Bowl. John Harbaugh's got a ring, and you know what he's doing? He's coming here to get us another ring.
I would love to see it, but the question is, can he do it with Jackson Dart?
Well, that is the big question.
He, in all his wisdom, I mean, maybe he's just saying the right things, but he says he's impressed by the young man and the fact that he loves football, and that's all he wants to talk about is ball.
I would like to say that I do think that Jackson Dart is probably one of the greatest quarterback prospects in the history of the NFL. I'd like to say that now, that anything that people say ill about him, well, they just don't know football. He is a great quarterback. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks we've ever had. Don't you talk ill about Jackson Dart?
I love this new shiny new Tim. Power of positivity. I love it.
It's the power, and that it's funny because only 76 people have liked so far. That's what someone was telling me the other day. They were like, it's you have this I love it because they even put in a DM. You have this positivity now, and they're like, I love it because you're so astute, but you're always negative. You know so much about football, but you're negative. And I keep asking the same question over and over again. If you lost for 15 years. Or you only won twice, 2 winning seasons in 15 years, 2 playoff appearances and 1 win. What is there to be positive about? It's not this newfound positivity. It's now the fact that you did something right. And I've always said, when the Giants do something right, I'm going to be the first one to blow the trumpet.
That's what she said.
But you've done everything wrong for 15 years. Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn. So let's just hope they continue this trend, because I like this air of positivity.
No, I mean, obviously, a lot of people are kind of wishing the offseason away. I mean, I'm actually excited for a Giant season because I haven't been I guess maybe when Daniel Jones' second or first year, I guess.
Oh, hold on 1 second. No, I'm not gonna fucking say I'm sorry. Sorry. He wrote, you doubted Jackson Dart all season. You should say you're sorry. No.
Oh, did Tim say I'm sorry? No.
I've said I'm sorry. I've said I was wrong. But okay, here we go. Let's look at the charts. Anything between -2 and 10, he's very, very efficient. But then when you go over 10 yards, it gets really dicey. And you say, well, Tim, that's 1 game. Okay. How about 2 games? How about 3 games? This was the Raiders game. How about, I don't know, 4 games? So listen, I'm going to say this 100%. I'm going to say this over and over again. Everyone gets a clean slate, but here's the thing. If you're not going to be honest about it, Jackson Dart completes 72% of his passes when it's -2 to 8 yards. Between 10 and 20 yards, his completion percentage dropped to 46. Anything over 20 yards, it was 25.9% completion percentage. And you're going to say, and John, this Harbaugh guy is going to say, well, hey, Tim, what about the drops? Let's talk about the drops. Giants do not have a wide receiver in the top 25 in the NFL in reference to drops. I'm going to say that again. Top 25 wide receivers in regards to drops, Giants do not have one single guy. So, and drops are something that occur in the NFL. If Jackson Dart is going to be a better quarterback, you are going to have to hope and pray that Harbaugh, his staff, is going to do whatever magic they need to do to make him better. Because if you would take a look at the totality of his game, he is not there yet in reference to throwing the ball more than 8 yards.
Okay.
And I'm not, and I literally could pull up 11 game charts and they're all exactly the same.
No, I agree with you. But do you think it can be fixed is the question. In your honest professional opinion, think it can be fixed? Because if the answer is no, you have your answer for the next 3 to 4 years. We are going to be a mid-level team at best with an average.
What am I fixing? What am I fixing?
Can he be a better deep ball thrower, more accurate, and be able to pick apart defenses instead of just bailing in the pocket when he feels pressure?
Okay, Chad Pennington, who was a good quarterback, who won playoff games, was not a good deep ball thrower. And I see Slider saying, well, it's throwing mechanics. I said this since the combine. Jackson Dart throws the ball deep like he is throwing a javelin. And he torques himself up so much that it just doesn't work out. I mean, we have played this clip a million times. You know, free play against San Diego. He torques it up and he still throws the ball a good 5 to 7 yards short of where it should have been. And we call that a hospital ball because he threw Malik Neighbors into the hospital. If you take a look at the Cam Scatterbo play, again, that was over 10 yards. If you put it into the inside of Cam Scatterbo, we're not talking about an alleged, illegal hip drop tackle, because it wasn't. Because every tackle in the league could be considered hip drop tackle. If he throws it to the inside, we don't have the conversation of Cam Scatterbo breaking his ankle. But he threw it to the outside where he had to stop, pivot, and come back. That's also what we refer to as a hospital ball. And so I think the question is going to be this: are you going to modify? Are you going West Coast? Are you going Joe Montana? Because Joe Montana did not have, even coming out of Notre Dame, the strongest arm. Steve Young had a stronger arm than Joe Montana. If I am going Bill Walsh 80s, if I'm going 80s, if I'm getting the tracksuit on, the Kango hat on, and I'm going 80s, and I'm going West Coast, and you are going to limit his ability, you're going to limit the mistakes because I know he's proficient short. Yes, I think you can fix it. But if you are going to go Dan Fouts, you're going Air Coryell, you're going to go like they ran over, you're going red gun like they did in Atlanta, or you're going to have Peyton Manning, like they did in Indianapolis in that 1 year in Denver when he threw for 50 plus touchdowns. No, that's not what's going to fit him as an NFL quarterback.
And that's why kind of like Todd Monken scares me as far as bringing in here and being potentially the offense coordinator, because he's been rumored. Now, obviously, I preface that by saying if he gets the Cleveland job because he got a second interview. So
right, I know he's going back to Cleveland the second time.
Yeah. So, because isn't his offense, if I'm not mistaken, if I've heard through the grapevine correctly, more of a deep ball throwing offense?
If you watch Baltimore the last 2 years, You had, I think Derrick Henry ran for 1,800 yards 2 years ago and 1,500 yards this year. And I didn't get to watch. I didn't watch as much of Baltimore as I did 2 years ago, so I can't really say from last year because I know they went a little different. They were extremely run heavy in 2 years ago, and also they ran Lamar Jackson, quite a bit as well, like they normally do. And then you had what's his name, Hollywood. You had Hollywood out there who then went over to the Arizona Cardinals. And you have Mark Andrews, the tight end. Like I said, I can't speak for this year because I didn't really watch a lot, but last year they were more of a ball control, play action style, with shots deep. But you always got to take shots deep because you got to loosen the defense. You got to keep the ball.
Concerned about you still need to take shots deep. Like I'm all for West Coast being efficient, but you have to take shots deep, and that's what.
And a shot, and the people that are like, well, you can't do that. Well, no, what I'm saying is a shot deep doesn't mean you got to chuck it, 55 yards in the air. A good 30-yard pass is gonna loosen up the defense because you're also going to stretch the field. My problem is, though, do we have the wide receivers that can do that? I mean, outside of Malik Neighbors, but we have to see what Malik Neighbors is going to be when he comes back because it's going to be, his first year back from the ACL. And if you actually take a look at the Ravens, the average yard per attempt for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson 2 years ago was 8.8. If I believe Jackson Dart was like 6.7.
Yeah, 8.8.
So we're not talking about, we're not talking about having him throw the ball 20, 30 yards every play. But the problem is the yards after the catch was like 10.5. So he got a lot of yak in Baltimore 2 years ago. Like I said, I didn't really watch a lot this year, but 2 years ago he got a lot of yak. So I'm not asking him to be Peyton Manning. I'm asking him to be somewhere between Chad Pennington and Matt Ryan.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll ask a more straightforward question than what I just asked. Okay, do you believe you can win a Super Bowl with Jackson Dart?
Right now, no.
But obviously he's a rookie. I'm saying if he develops into let's just say he develops into what you think his ceiling is.
Okay.
Do you think you can win a Super Bowl with Jackson Dart if all the other pieces around him are there?
Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco, Brad Johnson, they all won Super Bowls.
I understand.
Some people say Eli Manning as well.
What did they have though? They had
great defenses.
Exactly.
So I think with a lot of quarterbacks, if you put a great defense behind a quarterback, I think you can win a quarterback with I'm not going to say any quarterback, but like Trent Dilfer to me was the right quarterback for Baltimore at that time because they had gone through the I think it was the Colorado Boulder and all the other crap during that season. He was the guy that, don't make the mistake and let the defense score. He was one of those guys. But in this day and age, I don't think you can really get away with that as that much. Do I think if you have a solid team around Jackson Dart and you have what they usually refer to as a championship defense, yes, I do think you can win a Super Bowl with Jackson Dart.
Okay. Well, for me, then that's good enough because the Giants in my lifetime, except for Eli Manning, have never. I mean, yes, Phil Simms was good, and yes, Phil Simms did pass for 4,000 yards. But, do you think he can actually, what? I'll ask that. Do you think he can be a Phil Simms?
Different players.
I know it's different players, but I'm saying
not even close to similar players.
No, I know. But do you think, to me, when I think Phil Simms, even though it's not completely true, I think of a guy that would take care of the ball, doesn't make a ton of mistakes unless he got frustrated. But
Phil Simms is a guy which people don't give him credit for because when he retired in the top 15 of most passing categories. He threw for over 33,000 yards, 199 touchdowns. He had the wins. He had the rings. He was a deep, especially early in his career in 79 to like 83, and actually in 84 because he threw for over 4,000 yards, the first Giant to ever do it. He was a deep ball passer. But as he became older, Phil Simms, and especially that last year with Dan Reeves, if you ask me, which they made the playoffs, if you ask me if Jackson Dart could be 93 Phil Simms in the Dan Reeves offense, and that makes the playoffs, I'll say yes, because that was, to me, a similar style to what they play. It was more of a short, concise passing game that was more West Coast style than anything else. But they're two different quarterbacks.
I mean, even though the Super Bowls happened in my lifetime, when they first won their first, I was 2, and then what was it? They won again in 90.
90 with Jeff Hostetler.
6.
Now, could he be a Jeff Hostetler and go on a run, Jackson Dart? Yes. Because that, to me, Jeff Hostetler, except Hostetler coming out of West Virginia had a stronger arm than Jackson Dart. But those two are very similar. Those two are very similar players. And I would say, yes, you could win. Like I said, I think if you put a team around, Jackson Dart is not going to carry your team.
No.
Because when you reach a point, and we're going to reach this point this year, and people are going to see it, that when you try to create on your own always as a quarterback, it doesn't work. Teams, especially, and I love it because, people are like, well, when Dable left, Jackson Dart got worse. No.
The league caught up.
The league caught up and had film, and Jim Schwartz, not Jim Schwartz. I mean, the Schwartz be with you. Whatever the fuck the guy is in Philadelphia. I can't remember his name. The defense coordinator in Philadelphia. He figured out, like I told everyone, just keep Jackson Dart in a box. You don't have to sack him, but don't let him run around like he's Fran Tarkenton. Keep him in a box. Because once you keep him in a box and make him an NFL passer, shit goes bad. And then we saw Brian Flores do the same thing. So now that the league has figured out, okay, this is what you do to Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart now has to adjust and be like, okay, yeah, I can't always improvise because I have to follow the game plan. And I think that one of the issues Lamar Jackson had when he first came into the league, if you take a look at the way he played in 18, where he only played, I think he played starting 7 games, but he only threw for like 1,100 yards and 58% of, I think he only played like 58, something like that, 50 something percent of his passes. He tried to be the Jackson Dart the Lamar Jackson that he was at Louisville. But then when he figured out, I can't do that, in that 19 season where he put up 36 touchdowns and became more of a proficient passer and completed 60 something percent of his passes, he learned that he could still be Lamar, but he also had to be an NFL quarterback in the pocket. And I think, can Jackson Dart do that? I think so, but I'm not sure.
See, what I want from Jackson, because it happens all the time toward the end of the game, or, going on a run, like you said, be the catalyst for that series or be the catalyst for that game. You don't have to do it consistently. You're not talent. But when we need you most, can you do it? That's what I want from Jackson. Being able to step up in moments, because Eli was, not consistent. But what he was
I said, oh God, no. Consistency and Eli Manning are never in the same dictionary.
But he was able to do it in moments. He was able to do it for, 4 or 5 games. And that's what I want from Jackson. Because that to me is a hallmark of a good playoff run. That's a hallmark of, a good quarterback. I'm not telling you that Jackson Dart has to have a Hall of Fame career. But, at the end of the day, I'm obviously I want to work my way up to it, but I still expect championships at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be a lot closer to a championship than I am now.
Slider. We talked about Jeff Hostetler. What's going on, brother? So I did say Jeff Hostetler in reference. I compare him more to Jackson Dart. Did you get to hear the press conference?
Yeah, I did. And there was a couple of times where I caught him going, right, Joe? right, Joe? And I was like, I'm wondering if he was taking a shot at Joe Shane or something. I was like, whoa.
I kind of
So-
thought that too, to be honest, because it's almost, I even said it during the stream. It's like, Joe, you nod now. And when I point to you and say, right, Joe, you just nod. Just do this.
I heard him say like right Joe like 3 times or something, and I was like, maybe more, but I was like, wow. But that press conference was like his answers short and sweet. It wasn't long or nothing like the previous press conference I've seen from Dable or McAdoo. I was like, wow, like when it was done, I was like, you know, while I'm impressed what he was talking about.
It was the greatest press conference ever.
Because it was short and sweet, and it was simple, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I just want him to back it up because actions speak louder than words, and I hope he does everything what he's talking about. Because you know, hey, and now that he's in charge, now that he reports to the owners and stuff, you know, that's cool. And whatever deal like Joe's gonna pull out of his ass, like I think that's gonna be put to a stop, like because you know John also has say. So like if he wants to overpay for Wandell, I'll be like, oh hell no, please don't.
Hold on. Good call. I'm typing to young Ryan. You know, my Padawan.
Oh, that's fine.
I have to sometimes I do these things. So after watching this and listening to OGR, because he's so negative. This is why he doesn't have a channel anymore. Fucking negativity,
my channel still exists.
You don't have a channel anymore because you're so negative. This is the happy-go-lucky place. What do you, Slider, after hearing this, and we know nothing yet. We literally know nothing yet. We don't have a coordinator. I don't even know if we have a coffee guy. But
he said he's starting tomorrow and stuff.
I love that.
I remember that.
Interviewing tomorrow, and that's kind of where I was going. And I'm going to ask OGR the same question. And I'm going to start with you, Slider. But is there anyone on this staff that you think they retain?
Well, the only guy I thought of was their O-line coach, but I'm going to say it now. This is John's call, regardless whether we like it or not. If the O-line coach is gone, then the O-line coach is gone. This is John Harbaugh's team. He's got control over it. Who's on his staff? So whatever John does, I support it. Just keep the O-line coach, I guess, if they can.
So that'd be
my only thought.
That'd be Carmen. Keeping Carmen. And here's my thing. How long has Carmen been here? 1 season? 1.5 seasons?
2.
2 seasons?
I think.
Is it 2 seasons? Because I'm gonna ask you the same question. Is there anyone on this staff that you think now usually when they do keep someone, it's a lesser person like a special teams coach or someone that's been here for like an eon and they move them around to different directions. But is there anyone on the staff that you think that John Harbaugh looks at and says, you know what? Yeah, this is a guy I want.
No, because everybody says that the biggest problem with this team is coaching. So coaches in the building, the coaches in the building weren't doing a very efficient job. So I think the only guy is Cameron Brasillo. I mean, because he's gotten the most out of what he's had. And we saw what it looked on earlier, and now we see now, and we're an average line to me. Right. So, and you know, you're not a big fan of John Runyon, but
but listen, Mr. Negativity.
He's okay.
We had such a bad line for so long. Even having an okay line is a fucking improvement.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I got to look at it that way.
This fall, thousands of
thousands of Pennsylvania homeowners. I mean, it's a hit. Come on, guys, we're at the 81 likes. We got to get to at least 90 likes, or Mrs. OBB is not going to let me play anymore. But what about Andre Patterson?
Secondary coach, right?
No, defensive line coach.
Defensive line coach? No.
Every Giant fan you ever heard of before Carmen, we got to keep Andre Patterson. We got to keep Andre Patterson. He worked with Dexter Lawrence and Daniil Hunter. That's always been his big claim to fame.
No, you don't need him. I mean, let me ask you a question. Do you think Brian Byrne would have been equally as productive with or without Patterson? I
think so. I think so. John Harbaugh NZY says, I'm hearing Tyler Linderbaum's name to watch for John Harbaugh to bring him to hire from Baltimore. Listen, I love the Linderbaum.
Oh, yes, he does.
I have loved the Linderbaum since he came out of Iowa. And a lot of people will say, well, the biggest issue with him is his pass blocking. Well, you know what? We don't like Pro Football Focus here. But when Linderbaum came into the league, his Pro Football Focus rating for passing was like 54. Now it's at 87.8. And he's at a smaller center, because I always hear you can get a smaller center. We have one, but he is a guy that understands leverage. He's a guy that excels in the running game, and is a guy that knows how to move the pile. Now, the only reason that Baltimore did not pick up their fifth-year option on the Linderbaum, because the fifth-year option was going to be $25.8 million. Now, the issue is the way the fifth-year option is tabulated. It's tabulated by the number of games that he plays. Basically, there's this big equation, but it's tabulated off the number of games he plays, how well he plays, and everything else. So the Ravens looked at this and said, well, it's not fair in some ways the way it's tabulated, because it doesn't get tabulated for centers. The tabulation formula is off all offensive linemen. So you're including tackles, you're including guards, you're including everything else in this equation. So that's why the number was going to be $25.8 million. And Baltimore said, we can't pay that for a center. Well, I think someone's going to pay it, or I think someone's going to pay it close. I would love them to have him here, but I'm worried shitless that he's going to go someplace like the Chargers, because the Chargers got $100+ million, and they have the other Harbaugh. The other guy, but I would love Tyler Linderbaum here.
No,
I think that we get rid of JMS. Not that I don't like the kid, very nice kid. Met him a couple times. Get rid of his ass.
He's still under contract, right?
What is he? Is this would be his fourth year JMS, I believe.
Yeah.
So he still has. Yeah, he's got 1 year left on his deal.
So he's got 1 year left on his deal. So at this point, if you want to bring in Linderbaum, that's great. JMS, you're now a backup center.
Some people were saying, and I saw it on one of my other streams, some people were saying move him to tackle, not tackle, to guard. I'm sorry.
JMS.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Definitely not.
I don't see that right now. And honestly,
Linderbaum can play guard, but no.
Honestly, if we cut him, it's only $700,000 in dead cap money.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's because that would be 26. So if we cut JMS, we save $4 million and have a dead cap number of $400,000.
That's not bad. Look at you.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That's to you, JMS. Not to you, Hoosier. That's to you, JMS. I love you, brother, but don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Oh, wait, we got to bring in Big L because he's got a giant hat on. You got a giant hat on, and you're wearing the same clothes that's in your damn thumbnail picture.
Because it's celebration. Happy Harbaugh Day, guys.
I love that.
Happy Harbaugh Day.
Happy. You know what? January 20th is now known as Happy Harbaugh Day.
There you go.
And next year, if we get 2 wins, it could be Fire Harbaugh Day. But right now, it's the euphoria of everything. It's euphoria right now, Big L. What are we thinking here, man? What was your thought process when you listened to this press conference?
He ran out of bubble gum, and he's ready to kick some ass.
Oh, Tim, are you eating? Let's see. I forgot. Slider. Yes, I am going to be this Friday. Thank you. This is a show note for Slider. This Friday, or maybe no, this Saturday. We're gonna do live stream at 10:15 on Saturday. I am going to eat an Uncrustable.
Wow.
All right. I'll try to join you.
I'm going to be there. 10. We're not doing Sunday.
Try the hazelnut one.
No, my wife's allergic to nuts. That'll kill her.
I heard Joe Schoen is joining.
Okay. So then get the peanut butter one or the jelly one.
I thought an Uncrustable was peanut butter and jelly. I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly. There's chocolate hazelnut. There's peanut butter and jelly also.
Okay, you know way too much about Uncrustables.
Because I ate it first before that jackass got the job and ruined it. Then when he started screwing it up, I stopped eating it.
Why do I just eat a peanut? I'm just gonna eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's too. Yeah, it's too complicated, bro.
That's too fucking complicated. Then I gotta go to the store and I gotta buy it, and then they don't probably come in a single pack.
That sounds like Joe Schoen and his draft people. All the people that say, trying to explain football to people. Not fucking complicated. Harbaugh just said, "Yo, give me the fucking winners."
Give me an. Oh, Jared, do you have to go or something?
Yeah, I was trying.
Yeah, I thought so. That's why I saw you walking around. I just wanted to make sure you got a thought before you leave.
I mean, happy Harbaugh day. I'll let it settle for now. Looking forward to the future.
Happy Harbaugh day. That's the venerable OGR Sports looking for the future. We're gonna drop OGR off, guys. Why have you on? I have to play this. This is to me. This is the greatest 35 seconds in the history of the world.
That's what she said.
That one?
Hold on. How come it's not playing? How come my Joe Schoen clip's not playing? Oh, here we go. And I love it because he takes this huge sip of water first.
It's like it's going to be him from Chris Mara just saying his voice will carry the most weight. Was that humbling for you? What did that require for you to give up?
It's like they reached in his chest and just ripped his fucking heart out. Is it humbling for you that you no longer have any control whatsoever and you're basically relegated to glorified coffee man?
What you've had, which is the final say in the collaborative process.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about that. Everywhere I've been in the league for 26 years. So everywhere I've been, the head coach and general manager work together. That's the only way it's going to work. And get on the same.
There's that scene from A Christmas Story with Scott Farkas before Ralphie beats him up. And he goes, "Cry, baby, cry." That's all I can think of every time I see Joe Schoen in this clip.
Page, go through the process. Again, we've done it everywhere I've been. So I'm not worried about it. Like you said, that's just something on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. We need to work.
Guys, come on. It's something on a piece of paper, but it doesn't matter. Even though Harbaugh needed it and he was still talking to Tennessee on Saturday because he wasn't getting it. I love Joe Schoen. I cannot wait till he's gone.
Okay, what if it said, "Hey Joe, you're fired." On this piece of paper says it. What's he gonna say? It's on a piece of paper.
It's on a piece of paper. It doesn't mean it's on a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything. This is great.
Doesn't mean anything. Oh, come on, dude.
I know this is the great. This is the great. It's only on paper.
Joe should be a DJ because all he does is spin shit around. Spinning and spinning it.
His new name.
Didn't he sound
Spinderella? That's what we're gonna call him, Spinderella.
When you guys heard Joe talk, did he sound kind of irritated?
Yeah,
like
wouldn't
snarky,
you,
maybe.
Wouldn't you be irritated if someone?
Yeah,
asked you-
I'm all like,
I'd be irritated.
Yeah, that sounds like somebody like.
I don't think Joe ever. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't care what anyone says. I don't think Joe had John on his list, even when John was no longer the coach.
No, he wanted Kevin Stefanski.
It's when Chris flew over.
I don't think John.
It's when Chris flew to Baltimore to see John.
Get a hold of John.
Yeah. He wanted Kevin Stefanski, so he could.
Did you hear what they said? They said
Joe was like, "Oh shit, I'm screwed."
Okay,
you hear about that? It was
you both get talking at the same time.
I said, did you hear about it? Was Tom Coughlin who set up that meeting with Chris Mara?
I heard something about that. I didn't know that's exactly what it was, but I did hear something about that.
That's what it was. It was reported. It was Tom Coughlin speaking with Chris Mara and Harbaugh that led Chris Mara to meet with Harbaugh at his house.
It's just
I bet you Joe was shitting in his pants. He's like, "Oh shit!"
It's just
like what the fuck is Joe Schoen doing?
Payments will be returned as credits. I didn't pay anything for it to be returned as a credit. Why is it telling me that? Why is it telling me that?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm reading my emails at the same time like I always do. Oh, quick story. Someone just reminded me in the private chat. So I'm going to pick up my kid from school, and I'm in my son's truck, and he's not old enough to drive yet, but we got him a truck because we're working on it. We're putting it all back together again and everything else. And it's a 21-year-old Ford F-150. And I love it, though, because I pick him up at school, and there's a stop sign, and then there's a traffic light like 25 yards away, and this truck's got a bad belt. So I make the left at the stop sign to go to the traffic light, and the traffic light is red, and there's a bunch of cars in front of me. So I make the turn, I go there, and then when I finally get the traffic light, I make the right, and all of a sudden I see rollers. So I'm like, fuck, cops. And I'm like, they can't be coming after us. So we pull over and we pull off into this area, and the cop comes out and goes, well, you were doing 40 miles an hour in a school zone. And I was like, sir, I couldn't have been doing 40 because I went from the traffic light to the stop sign of the traffic light. It's like 25 yards, and I'm in a 21-year-old 2-ton truck with a bad belt. So there's no way I could have gotten up to speed as he said that I got up to speed. Yeah. Well, he goes to me, I've been doing this for 26 years, so I know. So I told him, I said, I've been driving for 40 plus. And I said, there's no way that I could have done that in this truck. So we're arguing. And so my son pulls up Life 365 and goes, Dad, you were doing 16 miles an hour. So I go to the cop. Here you go. 16 miles an hour. And then we have progressive snapshot, which also tracks your speed. Yeah, that said I was doing 14 miles an hour. So then he takes my driver's license and everything else and goes to me, well, if everything comes back normal, I'm just going to give you a warning. And I told him, give me a warning for what? Not speeding? Yeah, that was my day as I'm running on Joe Harbaugh to get to the stream. So that's what happened. So I knew I said I would talk about that. Evidently, Slider's in jail. Sorry about that. I wanted to say news and facts about what Connor Hughes of SNY just said he was the favorite. Okay. Do you guys like Anthony Weaver as our defensive coordinator? What do you think?
I don't care. Whoever he brings, I'm okay with. He could bring Wink. He could bring Rex. I don't care who he brings.
He fired Wink because I don't think
he could bring you. He could bring you back.
Listen, I'd be a great DC. Yeah,
just be like, yo, just hit that motherfucker right there.
I think Weaver though has an interview with the Steelers for the head coaching job.
Oh, does he? I don't know.
Yeah, I know him and Flores do. I believe him and Flores have interviews with the Steelers.
I would love to. Well, Flores it's not coming here.
No.
But I'd love to see somebody from Flores is like maybe a linebackers coach from Flores, somebody that knows that system. I love to see that for sure.
Don't worry, Slider. I will teach them how to tackle. Harbaugh has reached out to me. Coach Harbaugh here on Harbaugh Day has reached out to me and asked me if I'd be willing to come in and teach tackling techniques, and I would be gratefully pleasing to do that. So I want to make sure that we had 100.
Do you hear about that? He said he's interviewing the leftovers tomorrow.
Yeah, we talked about that. Where have you been?
No, you said he was meeting with people, but you didn't say that.
He said yes. We talked about he was interviewing the staff tomorrow. Yeah. That's why we had the whole question of who would you keep.
Oh, I was working. Are you bringing back the O-line coach?
I'm not bringing back anybody.
I'm not bringing back anybody neither.
I'm not bringing back a damn.
Why would I bring back anybody? Where you're trusting John Harbaugh? You're paying him all this money. Let the man make the decisions.
Whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I've already said it before. If he wants to go dig up Tom Landry and Vince Lombardi so he can have that early connection back to the Giants and work him as puppets, yeah, I'm good with that. I might think it's a little weird for like 15 seconds, but like, hey, you know what, man, we got to give it a try. Why not?
Where would you put him? Like, how would you you would hang him? Like,
why not? I don't know. If he wanted to do that, I'm fine. Right now on John Harbaugh Day, and Jim Harbaugh Day, because they're my brothers. I'm fine with it. Bring back. You didn't know this?
No.
Earlier in the stream, I've decided that I'm going to let the Harbaughs adopt me.
So all white people just get adopted. That's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have a. And I got to get.
He's my father too. Then because he had me when he was probably like
You don't know this about white people.
Unrecognized kid. I'm like.
Let me explain this to you about white people, and I had to explain this to my friend who came to visit from overseas a couple months ago. And I have multiple cars. So one car I have is very expensive. So I went up. I saw one in the parking lot that I thought was mine, but it wasn't mine. And he goes to me, he goes, "That's not your car." And I said, "Well, didn't you know that about white people? You just take the nearest car available. That's just what we do." Well, you gotta be so racist. Flush the whole thing. That's Mr. Perry. That's what I mean. Flush the whole thing. Just get rid of it all.
Get rid of it.
Why not, man? Just dump it. Get rid of it. It is 4:49. We're not at 100 likes, but that's okay. I'm tired. I'm tired. There's 131 people left, so I appreciate it. What's that?
What do you think is next?
About what?
Are they getting rid of Shane after the draft? They're dumping him right after the draft?
Oh, they won't dump Joe Shane until his contract's expired. They're not going to want to pay Shane and Dable for 26 and then bring in a new $20 million head coach and another $10 million for a general manager.
So he's not getting an extension, you're saying?
No, he's not getting anything now.
If
they would have had Stefanski, yeah, I could see him getting an extension. But now there's no need to extend him now because of the fact that Harbaugh's got final say and he can just be like, "Nope, I don't want him anymore. We're good." In my opinion. In my humble opinion. So, Big Al, I'm going to drop you off, brother, because I want to say goodbye to everyone real quick. I appreciate you coming on. As always, I'll text you later. That's the Big L. Here on Happy Harbaugh Day. Happy Harbaugh Day. I'm trying to get to 100 likes, and we have 93. If we got 7 more, I would do a video tomorrow. 7 more likes. 5 more likes, I do a video tomorrow. I do a video for tomorrow. And if we don't get them, then I don't do a video for tomorrow. And I don't even know what the video would be on, but it would be awesome. It would be awesome. And you guys are blowing it. You guys are blowing it. Because the awesome video is not going to be done tomorrow. It's a great day, man. It's a good day. It's a fun day. It's an exciting day. It's a day that if you look at everything that the New York Giants have done recently, it just makes you happy, and it just makes you smile. It really does. It just makes you as a Giant fan be like, you know what? Maybe there's some hope. Maybe like Zach and Zach always says, we're gonna be sucking on the hopium.
That's what she said.
And I gotta agree. I have to agree with that. I think there is a reason and a rationale to finally be hopeful about what the New York Giants are doing. And I consider that a great thing. And I consider that what we need to be and where we need to be. And that's where we're going to go. And I'm glad I could be a part of it today. This show will be on the rebroadcast in about an hour on the Believe Network as well. Believe Podcast Network, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Don't also want to give a big shout out, of course, to the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America. Appreciate everyone for tuning in as long as you did. And for everyone here in OBB land, this is Tim. Hair and gone. Hair tomorrow. Gone Harbaugh. Go Harbaugh. Go Big John. And we're out of here.